With a PFF rating of 80.4, Michael Carter II was the top-rated nickel corner going into the 2024 season in the entire NFL. 2023 was a great season for him. He put up fantastic numbers, and it got him paid by the Jets. 3-year extension worth over $30 million. The problem? In training camp of 2024, he ended up with an ankle injury that sidelined him for the beginning of the season. And then in pre-workouts in London in week 5, he felt pain that was attributed to herniated discs in his back. He ended up playing just 32% of the entire team's defensive snaps. That's down from 68% in 2023. In a recent article by Brian Costello of the New York Post, Michael Carter II opened up about the difficulties last season and the mental hurdles he had to go through in order to play. In this article, he's quoted as saying, "It was super tough, more mentally than physically," Carter said last month during Jets minicamp. "Everything physically was going on, but mentally, I was just trying to make sure I was kind of staying in it, staying enthused, not being down and trying to prepare the best I could so I could help my teammates and at least try to make an effort to make it through the game and be out there for those guys because I want it so bad. I knew what was at stake for everybody who was here last year. I definitely wanted to make sure I did everything I could to do what I could for them. It was one of those things that it didn't work out, but I'm in a lot better place now." For any player that is sidelined for a significant amount of time with injuries, compounding injuries, it must be hard for them to want to get back on the field and help their teammates, especially last season where we had a situation with Aaron Rodgers coming back, and we all think we're going to have a fantastic season, go to the Super Bowl, maybe go at least make the playoffs. Who knows? But it's tough for these guys that can't make it onto the field that want to be out there so bad. And I really feel for Michael Carter in this aspect. Further down on the article, we have some quotes by Aaron Glenn talking about Michael Carter. The good thing about him now, he's healthy. He has twitch. He's tough. He understands the nickel position. And once you start to play that position, you have to start to understand exactly what's going on in the front so you can be the guy that's out on the edge and listen, I got my guy. I mean, here is gap integrity. There is gap integrity that you have to understand. Your ability to cover has to be on point. So not only are you acting like a DB, but you also have to act as a linebacker too. And that's absolutely true. The nickel position in the NFL, there's a lot that goes into it. Michael Carter is going to have a big year, or at least a consistent year, in order to keep this defense together. Having Sauce Gardner and Brandon Stevens over from the Ravens should be able to lock down the number 1 and number 2 receivers. But when you get into situations where you have to bring in that nickel corner, Michael Carter is, when healthy, the best in the league. And I've always said this with the Jets in this season. The coaching needs to be on point. And I think having a coach who's excelled at the cornerback position, Aaron Glenn, Pro Bowl player, he's going to help not only Sauce and Brandon Stevens and AZ Thomas, but he's going to help a lot, I think, with Michael Carter in at least getting him mentally where he needs to be. Because I think we know the skills are there. I've said it before. I think there's something to be said about coaches that have played in the league. I think they have a way of talking to players in a way that they can relate to them. And I don't think that Aaron Glenn is going to be one of those coaches that just sits around, watches practice, and it doesn't really engage that much. We saw that with Robert Saleh. I saw it in training camp. There are so many times you would see Robert Saleh just sitting on the sidelines, watching practice with a clipboard in his hand, not really engaging too much, at least from my perspective, from what I saw with my eyes. But you can see it with Glenn. He's actually coaching. And being able to coach the cornerback position, I think, is huge. And it's not just Glenn. They brought in Chris Harris as the defensive backs and passing game coordinator. Here's the quote from the biography on Harris on the New York Jets website. Chris Harris has been around the NFL block both as an assistant coach and as a player. He comes to Glenn's first Jet staff from Tennessee, where he was the Titans' defensive pass game coordinator and cornerbacks coach for the last 2 seasons. In 2024, the Titans ranked second in the NFL and allowing 177.3 net passing yards per game and ninth in yielding 6.37 net passing yards per play. 6th-year safety Amari Hooker led Tennessee this season with a career high of 5 interceptions. Aaron Glenn is bringing in guys who have done this before and know how to coach. And I think it's going to help the cornerback room as a whole. Look, back issues suck. Herniated discs suck. But this would be a great storyline for Michael Carter if he's able to come back and dominate like he did in 2023 and 2022. He was, again, his PFF rating was 80.4 going into 2024. That's the highest rated nickel corner in the entire league. It dropped to 50 because of injuries and not being able to get on the field. If he's able to rebound and live up to the contract that the Jets signed him to, I think the sky's the limit for this defense, especially in the passing game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Out of the entire defensive unit, I think the issue with Michael Carter II coming back and being healthy is possibly the number one thing that's going to determine success for this defense. I know we can talk about the running defense, but the passing defense has to be on point. Let me know what you think.